As the heat of summer spreads across Canada, the heat rises on the leaders of the Canadian Rally Championship too. With the defending champions' attendance in question, many teams have their sights on a rare driver's title chase that doesn't have a clear favorite. Looking set to resume his campaign, Antoine Lestage won the second round of the season. But here at Rallye Baie-des-Chaleurs, the champs are absent again. It doesn't diminish the competition. Joël Levac and his World Rally Mini have returned after a 2-year hiatus. Test racing is here in force, including both the first round winner and the current series leader. With at least 15 cars in podium contention, the most anticipated event of the year features one of the deepest fields. Strap in tight for the battle in the Bay. Downtown New Richmond, Quebec. A beautiful place to relax, but today brings the excitement of the ceremonial start of Rallye Baie-des-Chaleurs.
Every first event, it's something new, new notes. Today was a really big day for us, so we're ready for tomorrow.
Thousands welcome the teams who made the long trip to the Gaspé Peninsula to contest the third round of the Canadian Rally Championship.
We're home, it's our home event. It's 2 years in a row that we finish on the podium. It's definitely the plan for this weekend, yep.
Whoever runs clean this weekend, that's who's gonna win. And that's my plan. I'm gonna go slow, easy, consistent, and not get any flat tires.
With 15 teams fast enough for the podium and 5 more gunning for top 2-wheel drive honors, it's anyone's game.
Fun de venir ici à chaque année, quel plaisir!
That's because this weekend's event will see 37 teams start on the narrow forest roads. If wet, the 240 stage kilometers can turn into a slippery mess. Regardless, the fans and the difficulty of the roads make it a top destination for this series. The Canadian Rally Championship is presented by Subaru, confidence in motion. First on the road is Joël Levac and Stephanie Lewis. Mechanically, their World Rally car has to be one of the favorites, but the team hasn't run in 2 years and Rallye Baie is a hard event to make a return. But once on stage, it's clear they're planning to take the lead and hold it. With the rust shaken off, there shouldn't be anyone in their way to stop them. But rallying isn't always about having the fastest car. Boris Georgievic and John Hall are ready to throw in a good hand. The ex-Lestage car has undergone a major rebuild to try and eliminate the mechanical woes that have hampered the team in the past few events.
Stay right over crest 60, left 6 plus over small crest 40, curve turn right 2 plus.
He looks strong early on, although a loose turbo hose slows him up temporarily. Also making a return to the series is the fearless couple of Maxime Lebris and Annick Barrette. They made a valiant run at the overall title in 2016 before losing to Lestage, but they haven't lost any of their pure speed. They're second on the opening stage. On their tail is Baie veterans Jean-Sébastien Besner and Yvon Joyal. The duo finished on the podium here a year ago and are currently running third. The test racing duo of Carol Carey and Samuel Joyal have some work to do this weekend. They won the opening round of the season, but that was at an event they had finished before. Now they're using fresh pace notes on some of the most challenging roads of the season. Their tentative start sees them down in the order in 5th. On the flip side, brothers André and René Leblanc are local. They know these roads and are considered Rallye Baie specialists. They're working on a new notes system, but local knowledge gives them an edge. They are in the hunt for the podium. The current championship leaders Simon Vincent and Hubert Gaudreau are running their usual strategy. They run a 20-year-old car without any special gearbox or high-octane race fuel. They know they can't outrun the top teams, so they aim to outlast. A broken drive shaft hampers their strategy, forcing them to limp down to 7th.
Et gauche 3, uphill, flat out on crest. Into straight over crest.
That puts the third test racing car in front of them in 6th. Baie-des-Chaleurs and Leblanc are ranked as novices, so a 6th position is impressive. In two-wheel drive, Americans Chris Greenhouse and Brian Johnson have the horsepower to dominate here. Chris is a threat to win every race he enters, but his competitive spirit sometimes outmatches his equipment. They go wide and finish their race on only the 2nd stage.
Oh boy. Nothing?
I'm stuck in gear. I can't change gears.
Okay. Gotta get triangles out.
Yeah, we do.
With Greenhouse out of the running, Jason Bailey and Shane Peterson become the two-wheel drive team to beat in their R2 Fiesta. They run clean in the opening stages and manage to build a small lead over their friends Wim Vanderpoel and Brian Lord in a similar Fiesta. Wim comes from open class, and his recent move to two-wheel drive has been a huge plus. He's 40 seconds off the lead, 2nd in class. After 6 stages, Levac is running away with the lead. A $140 ahead of Besner, who's a similar distance ahead of Georgievic. The LeBlanc brothers, followed by 3 test racing cars, fill the leaderboard. Labrie and Barrette are not on the board after gearbox issues take them out of the rally. Bailey in 10th holds down the two-wheel drive class lead. 6 long stages complete. Teams head to service before the night stages.
Subaru has been in Canada for a long time, building a reputation as champions in the toughest of conditions. 13-time Canadian Rally Manufacturers Champion and counting. Claim your own piece of history for $29,995. Subaru, confidence in motion.
Halfway through day 1 of Rallye Baie-des-Chaleurs, and the teams arrive for the main service of the day. For the Levac team, all seems to be running like clockwork.
The car running well. Yeah, small issue with the power steering. We have all the part to fix it. So everything is fine for the 3-4 stage after. But raining starting.
A bit disappointed on the results, but I gotta say it's our first time here, so we went with a conservative approach for the first stages, making sure that the notes were there, the rhythm is not there. So we'll go from here, we'll see what it brings, and we'll do our best.
Taking super high risks at this point in time don't really make sense because we lost all this time in the first loop, but we'll see how it all goes and maybe drive as the conditions allow. Finally, I love my new pace note system. It's easier to understand. The 2 first stage, I was only hear my co-driver from one ear, which is a little bit confusing. But and we take fast and safe pace, so everything is going good. We have fun. Yep.
So yeah, it's a hard loop with a broken rear shaft, and we're disappointed, but still we will look to get 6 overall and take maximum points, and try to have a lot of fun going into Camp Brûlé after this evening.
Had a good time on stage 1, but we noticed that the brake was very hot. Went out and did 2, and we knew that we had a brake problem, so we're just going to have to conserve a little bit. And I got to look at the video and see what happened, but something went wrong, and we went off and drove over 2 or 3 stumps and tore them out of the ground and did a lot of damage underneath. Not sure if it can go back out again. It does not look good right now.
It's good out there. At this point, all I have to do is stay smart, stay on the road, keep it clean, don't get any flat tires, and everything will go fine. You know, greenhouse and the neon is out, so the smart bet is to lift, but I don't see myself doing that.
As cars leave service, something strange is afoot. The Mini doesn't move, and Levac's team seems resigned. After checking into an earlier stage 10 minutes early, the team has been assessed a 10-minute penalty, putting them out of contention. It's a hard decision to retire, but they plan to return at another event soon. Back on the stages, night has fallen along with the rain. The Rallye Baie roads can be very slippery, and as the mud is cleared, sharp rocks are revealed. For Jean-Sébastien Besner, these are conditions he's seen before, and with Levac out, it's a chance to extend his lead. At Camp Brûlé, the infamous Spectator zone is full of fans, even in the rain. The locals love the event and support it heavily. Behind the leaders, Georgievic and Hall are having an up-and-down rally. When the car is on form, the pace is great, but small issues continue to creep in. This time, the windshield fogging up is severely reducing visibility. Clear vision on the fast stages, foggy on the tight, twisty ones.
This is 1, 2, 3, the bump into 5th crest, 250.
Their issues prevent them from pulling away from the LeBlanc brothers, who've picked up the pace, but not without their own issues.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Faudrait le mettre les pieds. Hein? Faudrait le mettre les pieds. Là, recule.
They get lucky and lose just 20 seconds, but they continue on strong in the battle for the podium. After not finding a rhythm in the opening stages, the wet roads are more to Carol Carey's liking. He's stepped up the pace and starting to set top 3 times. That's good news for test racing, but bad news for their teammates. Vincent and Gaudreau are regrouping after their earlier mechanical issue, trying to get back in the fight. With both teams looking to win the championship, every point counts. But Vincent won't be goaded into a short-term battle. In two-wheel drive, Mathieu Leblanc and Eric Dubé are setting some strong times in a quest to rejoin the class battle. All 3 top cars are within seconds of each other on pure speed, but time penalties are playing a bigger role. Leblanc took a 50-second penalty for leaving service late. Jason Bailey and Wim van der Poel each have penalties of their own. The two-wheel drive podium could be decided by penalties. It's the tightest two-wheel drive battle in years, playing out in front of the thousands of rally fans that have lined the stages. By the end of the day, it's the Civic of Leblanc and Dubé that leads the two-wheel drive class. Besner has built himself a commanding 3-minute lead, but Carey, Georgievic, and Leblanc have 13 seconds between them for the podium. The current series leader sits 5th in no man's land. All he can do is hope for attrition above him. Tomorrow they're back to sun and dust and a renewed battle. Tomorrow could see the championship break wide open or remain locked tight. The key comes after the break.
Take your driving to the next level at Dirtfish. Gain confidence behind the wheel of an all-wheel drive Subaru STI or rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ. Get sideways with skills on multiple surfaces. Gravel, mud, and tarmac. Dirtfish offers programs for every driver. Visit dirtfish.com for details.
Day 2 dawns dry and sunny at Rallye Baie-des-Chaleurs. After a short sleep and a chance to regroup, the teams are gearing up for an important day of rallying. There's opportunity for big changes on the leaderboard. First on the road is Jean-Sébastien Besner and Yvon Joyal. The duo has everything to lose, but time to spare. 3 minutes to be exact. They know they can lose up to 20 seconds per stage and still leave with the win, but judging speed when you're not wheel to wheel is no easy task. They play it perfectly on the opening stage, losing 20 seconds. The expression, no risk, no reward, simply doesn't apply in this case. Behind them, the LeBlanc brothers can't play the same strategy. 13 seconds separates 3 cars who are in the battle for podium spots. The LeBlancs plan on using their local knowledge to secure second place. That might be harder than expected if Carol Carey has anything to say about it. With a quick car and good teamwork, Carey and Joyal are on form. They move ahead of the LeBlancs by 2 seconds. If Boris Georgievic and John Hall can put together some clean stages, they could leap ahead of the 2 Subarus, but he's unable to get within range on the morning stages. Continued turbo issues are preventing him from mounting a full-fledged attack.
So this is crest and left 3 minus 30. Right 5, very long over crest. Opens. Down and tightens 4 long off camber.
The series leader in limbo. Pushing hard and risking the car is pointless. They have a 4-minute gap to the car behind, so it's consistent and clean stages for Vincent. 5th place is not enough to retain the championship lead over Carol if the positions stay the same, but that's out of their control at this point. In production class, Nicholas Spencer and Patrick Levesque are holding the class lead in 9th overall. The 4,000-kilometer drive from out west is proving worthwhile. In 2-wheel drive, Jason Bailey is in the tightest of battles. His lead wasn't as safe as he thought, and he found himself in 3rd overnight. He's attacking to overcome his mounting list of time penalties. He's up to 2nd in class, chasing Wim Vanderpoel, who's adapted to the class with ease. The 2 Fiestas are proving too fast for LeBlanc, Dubé, and the Civic. They drop to 3rd. Back with the LeBlancs, the local team is pushing hard for 2nd place. Over the first of 3 jumps at the famous Saut du Cinq Spectator zone, the team is in trouble. They stop in a control zone, and that's a no-no. They get the car fixed, but a big 10-minute penalty for illegal service in a control zone takes them out of contention. The LeBlancs drop to 5th overall, nearly 13 minutes back from the leaders, Besner and Joyal.
The 5 stud on the right front wheel snaps on the landing of the jump, so we lost the wheel. We had to stop. I stole 2 studs on the left side to put on the right side to be able to get back here, but it takes time to do that, right? The brakes are freaking hot, and so now we are like 7 minutes late at the service entry.
Every kilometer it's long. Yeah, no, so far so good. Still 4 stages about to go, and with close to 2 minutes 30 lead, so I'll be very gentle.
The car is finally feeling good, and us also. The notes are getting there, and it's really different stages and more something that I like. So the next loop is going to be tricky, but if we want to keep the lead, we're going to have to push.
You know, I think we bled a little bit of time to the guys. It's sort of unfortunate because we were really locked solid in either 2nd, 3rd or 4th place, and I think we're now probably a bit more solid in 4th place. So now I think if we can put the last 30 kilometers and not have any problems, hey, who knows what's going to happen. We'll just keep on fighting right to the end.
The final stages of Rallye Baie-des-Chaleurs after the break.
Subaru has been in Canada for a long time, building a reputation as champions in the toughest of conditions. 13-time Canadian Rally Manufacturers Champion and counting. Claim your own piece of history for $29,995. Subaru, confidence in motion.
The Spectator-filled event is nearing its end as a packed house prepares for the famous Saut du 5 jump to conclude the rally. The Canadian Rally Championship is presented by Subaru, confidence in motion. Since Levac's retirement, it's been Besner's race to lose, and he's spent the last 2 days making sure that doesn't happen. His 3-minute lead from the beginning of the day is down to 2, but that's a strategy perfectly executed. No risk, all reward. For Carey and Joyal in second, the penalty to Leblanc was the respite they needed. They now have a minute over third. Typically, a first-timer isn't expected to do well at Rallye Baie, but Karel has proven himself this weekend. For Boris Djordjevic, it has been a hard battle, and he's earned a reward. The rebuild of his car may not be complete, but it's allowing him to complete events and chase for the podium. He's got a very comfortable lead to Vincent Gaudreau in fourth. The series leader did everything right this weekend. He's been on pace and drama-free, and the fourth-place points will keep him in the lead of the championship. That's what he came here to do. After a difficult gearbox change took them out of the battle for the win, Labrie and Barrette have been having a great weekend, and without a reason to preserve the car, the duo lets it fly over the jump. In two-wheel drive, Bailey and Peterson in the Fiesta should have this event in the bag, but a series of penalties make the difference. Bailey accumulates 50 seconds worth of penalties, while Wim van der Poel only accumulates 15 seconds. Remove the penalties and the gap is just 0.3 seconds, an amazing two-day battle as close as they get. Penalties can be disputed, but in this case, they will stand. Rallye Baie-des-Chaleurs is a tough event. This event started with 37 entries and 10 didn't make it to the end. And for those who did, it was rarely uneventful. For Djordjevic and Hall, a hard-earned third place comes as a relief. Carey and Joyal first time here in second place. But the performance of the weekend goes to Jean-Sébastien Besner, who after more than 20 years of rallying, finally accomplishes his childhood dream. Winner of Rallye Baie-des-Chaleurs. Besner, Carey, Djordjevic, your top three. Simon Vincent in fourth retains the overall series lead by 1 point. The LeBlancs take fifth, Wim van der Poel claims the two-wheel drive win in seventh overall, and the remaining two-wheel drive podium all within the top 10.
Wow, we did so good yesterday. I was very going for it, very proud of my driving. Ivan and I think we're exactly at the level we wanted to be when we started together like 4 years ago. So finally a win after all those years, first national win. Yeah, it's a very good feeling for sure.
It was really a hard event for us. I'm glad we're here at the finish. We picked up the pace today. The notes are okay, the car is great. The team has done a great job preparing the car, making sure everything was good. So thanks to Test Racing and Samuel, it's a really fun event.
Well, yeah, we were pushing the boundaries with this car, trying to get as much as we can. When we have a good car, and we have a good momentum too. So that proved that on those good stages, we climbed up and stayed up where we need to be.
He went late out of service the last time, 4 minutes, so he should get a penalty for that. But we also got a penalty, so it doesn't matter. We are here, and he's here, so it's good.
But at the end of the day, you take all the penalties away, and we were literally within 3-4 seconds of each other for the entire race. It could have gone either way. It was well thought on everybody's part. First or second is what it is.
As the Canadian Rally Championship turns the corner at the halfway point, the next event is Rallye Défi in Montpellier, Quebec in September. See you then.